In this video, I'll try to address how IT administrators can provision and manage a device without even touching it. In today's world, where everyone is working from home, for an IT administrator, supporting a remote worker is a top priority. Zenworks has always excelled at this, and in recent past, we have seen many of our customers change their Zenworks configurations in order to manage, secure, and protect such remote workers' devices. However, with workers being away from office, it hasn't been really straightforward to issue new devices to workers, as generally these devices would need to be set up locally, configured, and then shipped out to the workers. It is this problem which our upcoming release, Zenworks 2020 Update 2, plans to address with built-in support for Windows 10 Autopilot. So, what is Windows Autopilot? With Windows Autopilot, an organization can purchase a device from an OEM vendor or a reseller and get it delivered directly to a remote worker. These devices can then be set up by remote workers themselves. IT administrators have the ability to simplify the setup experience. During the setup process itself, these devices get provisioned and are enrolled via MDM into Zenworks. Once enrolled, Zenworks Agent and other applications can be automatically deployed to such devices, thus ensuring a seamless and automated provisioning and management workflow. So let's dive in and see how simple this process can be. So all the devices purchased by you with a request to be auto-enrolled would appear in your Microsoft Store for Business. Here, you can view these devices, put them into groups, and assign them autopilot profiles. So let's just see what autopilot profile contains and how this can be used. So we'll go ahead and pick from a already set up device in this particular account. So I'll pick this particular profile. And these are the things which are contained within this autopilot profile. So an autopilot profile lets you define the setup experience for the end user. Thus by default, if you see over here, the Cortana script, OneDrive setup has been skipped, and OEM registration setup pages has also been skipped. And these are some things which are turned on by default. But as an IT administrator, you can also choose to skip privacy settings. You can also choose to skip end user license agreement. And you can even disable local admin account creation on the device itself. Once you have actually gone ahead and set up all your autopilot profiles and maybe organize your devices into different groups, you can then instruct your OEM vendor or reseller to deliver the devices directly to your workers' locations, or in some scenarios, if you want, you can have these devices picked up from a central location by end users of your organization. So let's quickly see what happens when end users start opening up the shrink wrap and start setting up such a device. Since some aspects of the device setup can take significant time, some parts of the video have been edited. So what you see over here is a Windows 10 device which has been delivered to, say, to your end users. And they have just opened up the shrink wrap, and as they booted up the device, they are presented with the Windows setup screens. So here, end user needs to follow the screen prompts. So over here, we will start with the region, and we'll go ahead with choosing the region as United States. That's the first prompt which I see. I'll go ahead and choose a keyboard. I'll skip this one. So a device can only be attached to only one autopilot program. So every Windows 10 device, while getting set up, would try to make a call to a Windows service with its unique identity for a check if the device is part of an autopilot program. And once it is identified that it is part of autopilot, the configured profile is downloaded to device and appropriate set of screens are shown. More interestingly, autopilot enrollment is only possible if end users are part of Azure Active Directory. So thus during the setup process, end users would need to sign in with their Azure credentials. So here I'll go and sign in with my Azure AD credentials. Once the user signs in with Azure Active Directory credentials, based upon user's group membership in Azure, appropriate MDM enrollment URL is passed to the device. In this case, enrollment URL corresponding to Zenworks server is passed to the device, and device then makes a call to Zenworks server. This call is validated by Zenworks server against the Azure Active Directory to ensure the user being enrolled is actually authorized to enroll its device. Once this verification check is done, Zenworks presents end user with terms and conditions of the organization, as you can see on this particular screen. These terms and conditions are configured in Zenworks and can be set up in almost any language of your choice. So I'll go ahead and accept these conditions. Once end user accepts the terms and conditions, the device is enrolled and remaining setup process goes through. Since through Autopilot profile we have skipped the creation of local admin, Windows would prompt for creation of PIN so that device can be unlocked in case it is offline and Azure AD credentials can't be verified. However, it is possible to skip this step, which we would do in this demo. So we'll go ahead and cancel this, and as you will see, it is saying that it was not able to set up PIN. So we'll skip this for now, and there you are. The device is all set up. So as we can see, if we go over there to the settings, if you go to the access work in the school, you will see the device is connected to the Azure AD. And if we go and look at the information, it will say that the device is managed by Zenworks, and it will tell you the different areas which are managed by Zenworks. And it will tell you the connection info, the device sync status, and so on and so forth. And it tells you serve time which the device got in right now. So these were the things at the device end. So let's take a look at what's there at the Zenworks console side. So here we are in the Zenworks control center. We go back to the devices. As you will see, the device which we just enrolled appears over here. And if you see over here, it tells me that the device has been enrolled via MDM. We can also automatically deploy Zenworks agent onto all such devices. We already have a policy to deploy Zenworks agent, and we have assigned it to all the workstations. This would ensure that as soon as a device which gets enrolled through Windows 10 MDM capability, Zenworks agent is automatically pushed out to it. So now, if we go and check the device again, we would see that the Zenworks agent is already in process of getting installed on the device. And as we can see, now the Zenworks agent has been installed on the device. If we go and check the device in the Zenworks control center, it will still show up at the same device. However, now it would also show details corresponding to installed Zenworks agent. Zenworks recognizes the device being enrolled via agent and MDM are one and same, and reconciles them to one entry, and thus providing you a unified view. At this time, administrator can choose to manage this device either using MDM capabilities or through capabilities offered by Zenworks agent. In this upcoming release of Zenworks 2020 Update 2, using Windows 10 MDM, they can install applications or send down commands through use of SyncML. With future releases beyond Update 2, we are looking to add in more capabilities. Meanwhile, all the rich feature set of Zenworks is also available courtesy the Zenworks agent deployed on the device. Key thing to note is that all the time, admin is managing a device, and all the complexities about what to do using which agent are taken care by Zenworks. Thus, with use of Zenworks and Windows Autopilot, it is now possible to provision a device to your remote workers and manage it without even touching it.